Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's episode, into the deeper dive, what we're going to be talking about is one of my favorite products in the range, and of course that's going to have to be the Yum Detailer. Now again, the name is quite deceptive of this product. Yes, it is a detail spray, but it also has a few other properties which can be cross-platformed across many different surfaces. So if you watch me enough online, if you read enough of my posts via obviously the private closed Facebook group that we run, you will see that I always mention something called a drying aid. Now, a lot of people would class a drying aid slightly differently. People would spray something on, rinse it off, it beads, but still, the paint needs drying. Now, what my definition of a drying aid is, you would spray something directly, as you can see the car's still wet, you would spray something directly onto the wet panels, and you would use your choice of the most premium microfiber that you can find and dry the car. Now, I'm going to explain you the theory behind this. I always mention the double foam method for a reason. The secondary foam used with the Yum wash, you're going to add a thick layer of foam onto the car and you're going to wash directly over it. This increases the slickness 300 times fold. Same thing with the drying. You need to contact dry the car regardless what you've got on the car, what you're going to spray on the car, it's irrespective. Now, because we're outside in the natural elements, even if you're inside, you're going to have things constantly land onto the paint. Now, because of this, when you're going to drag your towel across it, there is always a possibility of little micro scratches being caused. And this is why I always say the two most dangerous forms of touching the car is washing the car and drying the car. Now, to alleviate this problem, first of all, is you're going to add, I'm going to give you an example. So can you see this? This is a little micron of slickness that you've got over the car. That's one of the things. The second thing, you're actually bypassing the secondary step of using a product like this as a detail spray when the car's dry. So what you're doing is you're drying the car safely, you add in slickness and of course gloss, all in one step. So I'm going to show you. I always use the 2-towel method because again, when you put something on the car, you eventually have to take it off. Now can you see it makes the water actually run. Now I always like doing this panel by panel. I will take one of my waffle weave towels and again, I'm just drying the car. Now look how well the towel is actually drying. So you would dry the car like this. Now from this angle I can actually see it already starting to evaporate because it's got a self-leveling formula. However, what I always like to do is I like to take a virgin towel and look, just give it a wipe. Now it's impossible to see through camera, and of course you can't feel anything through camera, but the slickness generated right now in comparison to this panel is huge. Now again, this step I recommend massively to everybody. This is going to be one of your most used products. This is our best selling product by a clear mile. We can't make it fast enough, but there's a reason for this. I always recommend, whenever you're drying the car, just take that extra time. You're going to dry it anyway. Dry it / wipe it on. If there's any residue, but I do this by proxy anyway, I dry it and I continue this all during the car. I put it on the glass, I put it on the wheels. It's a drying aid for the whole thing. In fact, also door jambs. So one week I might use detailer, the next week I might use ceramic. Now, I'm going to wheel you inside now and I'm going to show you the secondary method of applying this product. All right guys, welcome back everybody. So we're on the inside now. So as you've seen, I've dried the car. Now, the drying aid method, as you've seen outside, is what I would normally do if the car is obviously leaving that same night or I'm just pottering about. It's just a super nice way, to add gloss like I've already said, but most importantly, it's the safest drying method that you can do. What you missed me doing on there, but I left it on purpose to try and leave as much body of water as possible. I like to have the car blown dry, so the car's probably about 80–85% dry. That basically means your wet towel, so the first waffle weave, would actually get pretty much not wet at all. In fact, the main wetness would come from the detail spray actually being applied into the towel. So you've seen how that works. And now I'm going to show you the secondary method and plus what I do anyway if the car was, let's say it's coming in here, it's going to leave tomorrow morning. Let's say I still go back round, but this time I'm going to take 2 paint towels. So the pesky little areas that you will always find are under your wing mirrors, little lights here I've got on the side, door jambs, boot jambs, in the grills. That's the worst area on this car. So this is the areas that you find where water tends to knock about more than usual. So again, I have lifted the window wipers, so there is a bit of a drop. So look, 3 sprays, and what I do is I just lightly just massage it into the paint, dry. This is the main thing. So I dry it up. I take my virgin towel once again, and then look, 1, 2, 3, 4, going all the way down, completely gone. And that kind of doubles up on the slickness. Oh, it feels silky smooth. So I make no qualms about this. This detail spray has got 0 protection. The reason is a lot of the industry and the people who kind of are, or who reside within this industry, what they want from a detailing spray is now, this is where the industry is going to very aggressively, is these detail sprays now tend to have 4, 8, 16 weeks worth of protection. Now, to me, I don't like that. Again, that's my personal opinion. I would never use a detailing spray like that. 1, very hard to perform a drying aid on it. Second of all, if you start infusing it with the likes of ceramics and stuff like that, it may not play as well or not well at all on, say, wax finishes, seal finishes. And this is why obviously the Yum ceramic exists as a standalone sealant. You take your time to put it on, and then you maintain it with this so you don't kind of constantly use the wrong kind of product. Now, the biggest thing, and I'm going to show you now, imagine you go to a car show. Again, I don't condone this. I would rather have a slightly dusty car than a white car with swirls, but each to their own. So imagine this car, you've just driven through rain, you've got dust everywhere. Now you come in and you would use a little bit more than you have to, which if I had to do, that's the way I would do it. I would pre-saturate again. Imagine I do this, and then they come in and they're like swirl, swirl, scratch, scratch. They just rub it in. Now, if this was a heavy hybrid detailing spray like I'm talking about, you would come in and you would start having to buff like this. Now again, dirt on clear coat, you haven't picked it all up in this towel. There's just no way. And what are you doing? You're buffing like this, bang, bang, swirl, swirl, right? And this is why this formula exists, to give you less mop-up time, just in case you are kind of stuck in a pickle or a bird poo has done it. Now, if a bird poo has landed on your car, I would literally hold it like this, pre-saturate the bird poo, I mean like a lot of liquid, leave the towel to soak it up. I would scoop it, that's the most important thing, and I would continue with multiple towels to continue to scoop just as much as you can. At no point am I going to wipe up until I know that area has been scooped at least 5 times. So I've been studying the whole drying aid philosophy. Luckily, I've been able to see many cars with different paint colors, and this is where I've got first-hand experience. I'm not regurgitating anything that I've read on the forum, I've seen on another video. I've literally tried every method myself. I've dried the car with just water on a big heavy towel. I've done it with spray waxes. All these type of things I have done just so I can see long term, over 3 months, 6 months of kind of drying these cars in different weather conditions, especially in winter, what a certain product or the lack of a certain product can do to the longevity of your clear coat. Now, another thing that I've probably in the last 6 months I've discovered, so when I was washing this car real quick, what I noticed is obviously how windscreen, our side mirrors are super hydrophobic. So it's been on there, so the Glass Plus has been on there for a couple of weeks. I've just chucked it on, it's unprepared, so it hasn't been clayed. I just literally washed it, dried it, boom, on. Fantastic. I'm just seeing how far I can go on pretty much unprepared glass. Now, you will see this also with, say, coated cars. I mean, when you're washing them, they feel super slick, the same as this. But then when you come to dry it, with no drying aid, you come in and they're very sticky. Now, does that mean the car's unprotected? No. However, protection can lose that slickness without any toppers. but still be super protected. So, and this is going to be outlined in the Glass Plus video as well. But what I do now as well is, you know, on the glass, so watch, this is a virgin towel from up there. Look, it's just moving, look. But if I was to put water on this right now, it would be super kind of aggressive. Now, look at the difference. Watch, I'm going to take a towel, drop my detail spray. 2 sprays. So, I'm just going to simply wipe it on. Look, it's super easy. Now, I can already feel this. So again, another virgin towel hasn't been used for the effect of, obviously, the test and the demonstration. There's literally no resistance. Bang. Bang. Now the same towel I'm going to put on just as protected glass, not moving anywhere. Now let me repeat this many ways. I'm going to do it in halves, not going, again, half on this, bang. You can see, so the point I'm trying to make, I've been researching this. I've been trying to, I've used unprotected cars for this protected. We've got a vast array of vehicles available to us to test this, both outside and inside. And basically, the purpose of this product, and I've always said it, but without actually showing you, you can't see what I'm talking about. Now, when you look inside a car like this, you will see like a hazy finish. Some cars are better than others. Now, the haziness and the waviness is called orange peel. And this is why you can get the orange peel removal service. This is mainly done on show cars, to where literally you look and it's like a mirror. Even though on camera, look how good the car looks, but still the orange peel is installed at the factory sprayers. That's just the way it is. That's life. I hate it, but it actually technically protects you more than a completely flat car. But when you look, it's the peaks and troughs, okay? So this product cross-links between the clear coat. What does that mean without throwing fancy chemical terms at you? Basically, when you've got peaks and troughs like this, the detail spray will come in and it will sit on top. So now the peaks and troughs are covered, okay? And what that basically means, less path of resistance, and that both means with the water beading, the contact angles, and also sheeting angles, how quick something sheets. And you can feel this directly through the towel. Now, what you've seen on glass is notoriously porous and notoriously hard, but in terms of the porousness of it, we've just basically put a barrier against, well, on top, not against, but on top of the peaks and troughs. And as you've clearly seen, there's a huge difference. The glass is just as protected as the other side and vice versa. Now, apply this to your paint and your wheels. It's the same method, paint on the car, paint on the wheels. Let's call it the same thing, the sprays, and they're coated. So literally this product I use everywhere, even in the summer. Sometimes you wash the car, still super slick, but again, a little bit of pollen lands and eventually something will have to stick. I take a couple of utility towels, oversaturate the wet one, wipe it down. So I'm technically using it to clean glass, but I'm not really cleaning dirty glass. I'm just picking up dirt and dust. So if you have used this, as always, shoot me an email, comment down in the video, whichever way is more comfortable to you. If you haven't used this, like I always say, if everybody supports every brand, everybody will be happy. You get something in return, so you get a premium product, and in return, we get supported with, obviously, your customer business. So it's an excuse, like Matt from Obsessed says, it's an excuse to be in a relationship. For the sake of a £13 bottle, you're gonna have, obviously, a huge smile on your face, a shiny car. So if you haven't tried it, when I tell you it's the #1 selling product of ours, in fact, it's that true, I put it on the bottle. So we make it super quick. It's popular all over Europe, South Europe, North Europe. It's now making its way into America, so that's another fantastic thing. And it's just, as you can see, the car is just literally being wiped as a drying aid application when it was wet, and just look, it's super glossy. The car still needs a paint correction. No lies about that. Paint correction series is coming up. But even on a car that contains a little bit of hazing, swirls and scratches from its previous owner, fine, that can all be fixed. But just look how red, I mean, red's the hardest color, but it's also one of the best colors, especially if you put the right kind of raw chemicals into the clear coat. It makes it ping on the color spectrum so well. Proof's in the pudding. So, hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. As always, more deeper dives coming into the products, and stay tuned for more. Have a great week ahead, guys.